Hello and welcome back to George's Time. Today we're looking at some of the brand new policies that have been just introduced into the world by the government. The government which recently had a new candidate that came up, a brand new candidate, unexpected candidate, who's just had a speech saying that they have been working with military subcontractors, I presume that means private military, to develop drones that will keep us at peace. What do you think about this? By the way, this is a political correspondent talking to you here, Jeremy. Well, I think this is bad. This is a bad system. It's all well and good. I appreciate our leader coming to the decision that we need to have security and, to try and end the violence, but I don't think this is the way to do it. Because here's the thing. If you give support to a group, then you give support to them. But if you go against them, you incite violence against them, and you have no real way of, showing you need to show that violence, and people will begin to support that group. They may not do what the group says, they may not outwardly join them, they may not do anything like that, but they're going to be in support of them, and that breeds an underlying kind of violence. That breeds a kind of an under the skin sort of unsettling sort of thing. At any moment that could burst, I think it's also bad that the current software that they're using to scan for people who are suspected is a private software. So you're giving this kind of information to private companies. You're not allowing people to see the information that's being collected. So really the situation you're in here is it's a very dangerous, there's incredible data breaches really. Even if someone hacked this website that they use, hacked the service that they use. So then this is the information on citizens, addresses, car registration, PPS numbers, all these kind of things you have here where, so security numbers, all these kind of things are put on the one file, and then they're matched with your face, and boom, there you go. And all of your where you've been, video files of you, all these things are all uploaded into this database, and we don't even know the extent of the information that's up there. And if that was to be hacked, well, that's your entire life. They know more about you than you might even know about yourself. You wouldn't even remember that on the 5th of November you went to this place, but they will know that. And that's the kind of thing you have there, where it's I think it's a terrible bill there, And what do you think about the idea whereby people are just killed? That too, I think, is a massive problem. Your attitude cannot be just, go ahead, wholesale killing. Some of these people are just suspects. Some of these people are incorrectly placed. And all it takes is a small system error. If a drone comes along and says, I don't quite recognize you, but you look enough like this person, boom, you're dead. And the problem is, you don't even know that person is being got down by a drone. The system might keep a record of that, but you don't have access to that system. And because the system is private, it's not public, and you can't ask for this information to be public. I've tried to speak to someone in the inner circle, and I tried to say that that they should do something about this, but it really nothing has happened there. Nothing's happened at all. I feel that's a real shame. That's a real shame indeed. And I think it really is just a real shame that that this could be the case, that would happen there. I think the idea where you just go, kill someone, well, that's not that approach. We have to have some sort of law and order. We can't just have wholesale killing. So what would you say about the current political climate in this country? Do you think that the political climate has changed? Well, yes, I would. I would say the way that the government is being run now is almost like kind of like a dictatorship, really, because basically how it's working is that it's basically a dictatorship, but it's like if a parent was to let their children, one child is very big, another child is smaller, just sort of do what they want. So one child, the little child says, well, I want to play with the toy. But the big child says, no, you won't play with the toy. And they beat the little daylights out of them, And that's the problem. Currently they're beating the little daylights out of the little child. But the point is that at any point the parent could step in. The parent is way stronger than the big child. The big child may be stronger than their sibling, but they're not stronger than the parent. And that's the point. The parent at any moment could step in there. And I think that's the problem. The parent hasn't stepped in there is concerning. I think at some point the parent should step in, or to be precise, English should step in, because it's getting worrying now. It is very worrying that this kind of level of violence could sort of be pressured by the government, and you might expect that from older parties that have links to groups. You've got Sinn Féin having links with the RN, and DP having links with UNIS, but this is a new party. This is not a party that's supposed to have any links. It's not supposed to have this. So I think the main issue is that it's not really good that this is happening. And I would say, I would mention, of course, you have mentioned this before. I assume that the recent resignation of some of the politicians. No, I haven't. No. What was that about? Well, basically, what these politicians were saying was that they didn't support the current leader and that in his actions, and that they didn't want to be part of this. And I think that's creating is this kind of a split in the party. By-elections are set to happen, and I would say that the candidates that are going up there are probably going to be, you'll probably have UNIS and Sinn Féin characters, the DUP and Sinn Féin candidates probably secure seats, because currently this party is just going down the road. And I'd say, I would even say the fact that the powers that be were, if they were to be elected, I would say that if they might even be elected because of the way it would work, that not all I'm saying is where there's this illusion put out by the actual government, or by the leader of the government, the party's unified behind them, but they really are not. They're just replacing the party bit by bit under the guise of things, and that's why I'd say, well, there's supposed to be by-elections. I wouldn't really say there would be by-elections, and if there were, once again, I wouldn't say there'd be very, democratic ones, and I wouldn't say there's any control there. If there were honest ones, the party would support. So what would you say about media coverage? Well, I think what's good about it is that while other countries might have a problem with media coverage being often media coverage is censored, at least that, this outlet is out there for people to listen away to hear what's going on. There's nothing being censored, at least there's that. And I think that's a good thing, really. That the fact that people are, they're able to get their news from areas. I think that's good. So you've been thinking that maybe it's time to campaign for him to step down. How do you think that will go? No, you're not allowed. For the recording, get down on the ground. What is going on? You are being under arrested. What do you mean? I think we might have a problem with press freedom. Yeah, that's clear. Come on, move it. Come on, move yours. Yeah. Well, sorry, ladies and gentlemen, but it looks like we might have to take a break for a while. We'll see you next time, I guess.